If there are any errors in the inventory data, the bill of materials, commonly referred to as BOM data, or the master production schedule, then the output data will also be incorrect. Data integrity is also affected by inaccurate cycle count adjustments, mistakes in receiving input and shipping output, scrap not reported, waste, damage, box count errors, supplier container count errors, production reporting errors, and system issues. Many of these types of errors can be minimized by implementing a pull systems and using barcode scanning. Most vendors in this type of system recommend at least 99% data integrity for the system to give useful results. Systems is the requirement that the user specify how long it will take for a factory to make a product from its component parts. Additionally, the system design also assumes that this lead time in manufacturing will be the same each time that the item is made, without regard to quantity being made or other items being made simultaneously in the factory. Inaccuracy exists both for suppliers and for production's lead time. Production lead time can auto-adjust in constraint-based methods such as cost optimization. However, unless the supplier is modeled as an internal plant, lead times will not change for vendor's volume. A manufacturer may have factories in different cities or even countries. It is not good for an MRP system to say that we do not need to order some material because we have plenty thousands of miles away. The overall ERP system needs to be able to organize inventory and needs by individual factory and intercommunicate the needs in order to enable each factory to redistribute components so as to serve the overall enterprise. This is a true limitations of MRP. However, to do this, it is necessary to use a method that can see the entire supply network. MRP cannot see outside of a single location. That is its design. This means that other systems in the enterprise need to work properly, both before implementing an MRP system, as MRP relies upon the other systems. Production may be in progress for some part whose design gets changed, with customer orders in the systems for both the old design and the new one concurrently. The overall ERP system needs to have a system to coding port such that the MRP will correctly calculate needs and tracking for both versions. This is performed by having alternate BOMs with different effectivity dates. The other major drawback of MRP is that it takes no account of capacity in its calculations. Since MRP is unconstrained, this means that planners must meet the plan's capacity level either manually or by using a capacity leveling method which can be configured. This issue is often directed at methods that perform capacity constraining. It affects all supply or production planning methods. Not all applications are created equal because the existence of constraining functionality says nothing about how easy or difficult it is to maintain resources. It is not only the license or subscription cost of the MRP system that companies need to account for. Implementing business software always takes up time that has to be allocated from other activities, especially when you keep the implementation project inside the company. Before implementing, a lot of time is also spent on assessing different solutions. In case an implementation consultant is hired, you will also have to consider that their pay could often exceed what you pay for the software itself. When choosing a software, you should first map out every business need you want the new system to fill. Otherwise, you risk picking the wrong product for your company, which could either prevent you from reaping the expected benefits or become a money sinkhole due to complex implementation and use. The chosen MRP system should have all the functionalities you need at a cost that is comfortable to the business and with a level of ease of use that is reflective of the IT skills among your staff. Implementing a software that affects the whole business cannot be done without having first the department heads and later also the workers support the change. A company has to change its process according to the software, not vice versa, and this can create a fair amount of discord among employees that are set in their ways and reluctant to fix something that already works. With reasonable arguments and effective communication, everyone can be made to see how the software could benefit both the workers and the company. While MRP is designed to ensure adequate inventory levels at the required times, companies can be tempted to hold more inventory than is necessary, thereby driving up inventory cost. MRP system anticipates shortage sooner, which can lead to overestimating inventory lot sizes and lead times, especially in the early days of deployment before users gain the experience to know the actual amounts needed. Promoting a culture of integrity reduces data integrity risk in several ways. It helps to keep employees honest about their own work as well as the efforts of others. Workers in a culture based on data integrity are also more likely to report instances in which others take shortcuts or don't fulfill their responsibilities regarding the many different aspects of data integrity. Include specific people and processes put in place to verify employees are working with data in accordance to security and data governance policies. For instance, data stewards can monitor the data lineage of data sources. IT personnel can monitor security systems for data integrity. Is particularly effective mechanism for minimizing data integrity risk. Audit trails are key for learning what happened to data throughout the different stages of its life cycle, including where it came from and how it has been transformed or used. Understanding these specifics can ensure regulatory compliance. Is a crucial aspect of governing how data is used, by whom, and where. By mapping these processes, ideally, before data is put to use, organizations have greater control over their data assets. These maps are fundamental for implementing proper measures for security and regulatory compliance as well. It's mandatory to eliminate security vulnerabilities to help minimize data integrity risk related to protecting data assets. This method of reducing risk requires subject matter expertise for determining known security vulnerabilities and implementing measures to eliminate them. It also requires technology like security patches to actually carry out this work. Following a software development's life cycle is a fundamental way of governing data in its journey throughout the enterprise. These development life cycle are important for understanding the various governance protocols necessary to manage data according to regulatory and security requirements. This method is an integral step in understanding where data is and how it's deployed, and then using this knowledge as a foundation to create sustainable practices. Planning, mapping, and dictating what's supposed to happen while data is useless without regularly testing, validating, and revalidating whether IT systems and employees are functioning according to these procedures. For instance, IT teams may be tasked with mapping source fields to target systems according to the metadata of the mapping constructs used previously. The only way to know for certain whether this process is performed is to test and validate the computer systems involved in these procedures to see if the information supports employee action. Error detection software and anomaly detection services can help monitor and isolate outliers, identify why errors occurred, and illustrate how to avoid them in the future. This entire process is critical for keeping data integrity risk at a manageable level. Ensure your employees how to interact with data for error minimization and maintain its accuracy. Training also helps keep workers invested in overall quality, which is a superb for business. Encryption is another practical approach, especially in managing transmission between machines or the internet. Decryption must be enforced on stolen data before it can be used by anyone else, so producers have some time to notice an attack and respond accordingly. Data integrity also relies on data uniqueness, so keeping track of user IDs and passwords can help prevent unauthorized access.